Well, good morning, kids. Sun's just peeking over the mountain this morning and giving me a good look at itself, bringing that energy of light and love into me through the tree branches there. And so if it comes through me, it comes through you. You see, the sun is the gateway of a certain amount of energy. Most of it comes from within ourselves, but sun is the activator, because through it we can see what's on the other side and no longer let it be on the other side, but bring it right back home here to creation where it needs to be and be where we are. I'm going to tell you a little story this morning. Here it is, New Year's Eve, 2011. Can't believe we've made it through another year, even though I disagree with the calendar and its change of seasons and so forth. It's ridiculous to put it all up in numbers and say this is the exact day that summer begins and this is when winter begins. Shoot, you've had snow and cold before winter ever thought of coming. According to the calendar, I mean, you know, it would be a lot more sensible if we had one or something like that based on the real seasons we're going through. That would make a lot more sense, but you know, we're about to throw calendars out the window, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Oh, and Happy New Year to you. May 2012 be the brightest blessing you've ever received, and may every hope of the deep heart within you be fulfilled these coming days and weeks and months that we call the year 2012. Yes, indeed. It's going to be bright, and it's alrighty. Just take it from Grandpa. Here it comes, 'cause there it goes. We're in this together now. Doing what we know we should do and moving in that direction no matter the resistance we feel. The resistance is simply the fear of letting go of what we know, you know, this fixed reality, you know. There's birds and trees and plants and flowers and trials and hardships and, you know, the typical stuff of an earth existence. And despite all of its difficulties and its meat-eating habits and so forth, it's coming into a new place of being now. So we can just let it flow naturally, and we don't have to get in the way by, you know, acknowledging that fear and letting it, you know, dictate to us. You know, cling on, don't let go. That's what it says. All's lost, you're doomed, you don't have a chance, you don't have a prayer. You don't know what's coming. Seems like we got this programmed inside of us from somewhere. And I can't imagine why that should be. Can you? Well, I'll tell you why. It's 'cause we feel all alone inside. Like we're the only one. And we feel separated from the life around us. And really, this is all that's changing. That feeling of aloneness. As our eyes are opened and we can see what's truthfully here, you know, our eyes open because our heart does. And then we can dwell in the space of the heart, which is the very essence of creation itself, its center. And because we do that, it's much more than feeling the interconnectedness with other beings. It's like being together with them in all ways. And understanding every dynamic of their facet and person as well as your own, and appreciating the uniqueness of your personal creation excuse me, and it's part in the greater scheme of things, but also coming to understand and accept yourself as a part of the greater presence, the whole, the natural being, to enjoy your dynamic place at the center of the universe. Because all are gathered there, and that's from whence we create. That's how we spread out and experience. And each of us exists there, even as we exist here in what we call an extended reality. It's an extension into something we've chosen to call time, which has calendars and seasons and holidays and, things like that. But it's a synthetically created reality in that sense. What we see in the passage of days and times is an illusion. Our experience within that is valid because it's a valid experience. It's living. If you perceive it, you've done it. If you feel it, you move through it, you're living it. Shoot, yeah. But that's, right now, only one level you're seeing. Oh, man. And it's time to wake up in this journey of friends and become the soulmates that we are. There's a gathering place near here in Crestone, Colorado. It's about to reestablish here on earth that which was taken away oh so long ago. Yet it's always been here, but it's been barely perceived, and that just on rare occasions. Yeah, I'm talking about this spirit family, this clan of the heart, that kind of form the nuclei at the center of life's soul, as far as earth and her creation goes, and perhaps a little bit beyond that. But it's a family of essential souls, each of which is just beginning to awaken now, to understand they're here to fulfill the need and purpose for the Mother Earth and all of her children, to help bring together that which they've worked on through time, timelessly, coming back again and again to lead these simultaneous weaved lives that have been influential here, and being able to share particular energies in each life, and sometimes going through all the dynamics of hell to convey one little energy at one certain time so that things flow this way instead of that. These are the beings I'm talking about. They're universal beings. They're of the essence of the center heart. They come right from her soul, her spirit, her motherly love. And yeah, there's a father in her too, of course. But it's the divine feminine. That's why there's so much attention going on to it right now. And many people misunderstand this to mean women. Female. That is opposite of the male. Again, you can only see it in these ways when you're feeling in this alone perspective. Then you have an identity, and you see commonality around you. There's females and there's males, and you identify with that. But it's because you're feeling alone and lack the sense of identity that you need to identify with that. It's one thing to enjoy the femaleness, the maleness that we are. It's another to experience it, to really come at it from the standpoint as it being something that it's there for you to enjoy, to understand that you love life. And not because your identity comes from that, but just because it's a dynamic part of your being. And you're being willing to express it in this way, in this lifetime, is just awesome. It's a move of gallantry, that nobility I talk about in humanity all the time. You see, when you realize your interconnectedness, you start moving beyond the labels we've installed, and calendars don't mean a damn thing to you anymore. And being who and what you are is a beautiful thing, because you can finally grasp the full vision of it and not just live it on one level and experience little bits of other levels on rare occasions, and that usually being an orgasm or two. Thank God. But you know what I mean? It seems a little beyond us. We've been made to feel like powerless beings. But this family that I speak about has always been here within it, always sharing the essence of what they are in each and every lifetime they've lived, weaving them together, bringing this energy, specific energy, through all the threads of time. And most of the time they do it unawares of who and what they are, living as a human being, but knowing they're very different. And now there's a scat of souls like that kicking around this old planet. It's like the earth has given birth to a whole new meaning in humanity, It's not just a few. It's a plenty. And ultimately it's us all, because as one realizes it, another experiences it, and it moves on from there. That's how we do it. That's all part of the plan. So it's really progressive to being able to let go of the fixed nature, to see it first in operation in yourself, and then lighten up and let it be. And get your identity from the heart that's within yourself, that is very much a part of every other heart that lives. And there's heart in everything, in everybody. This planet is a magical place of being. This is the Mother's love personified a billionfold. And we're living right in the middle of it. Yet we've chosen to see it as a dark and harsh place, and to experience it that way, because we like the feeling of being alone. There's something special about that. Even in the depths of pain, there's something righteous about it. Okay. Well, the aloneness then of creation. You know why she creates. Why she's chosen to open her womb and flower into existence. All of these forms and expressions of life, all of these experiences which you can know simultaneously, which you do know because you feel it. And now you're just expanding those feelings to include your area of vision. The center heart arises. These beings, these magical beings I've been talking about, this spirit family, family of the heart, they're feeling the call now. And they're first and foremost in this. And baby, some of them come from some pretty dark places. You won't believe who you see arising and gathering here. It's meant to be. It's going to happen. And I call on all the powers of the universe to help it happen. Yeah, why not? We're one with each other. Why not bring it all together in ourselves right this very moment? Kazam. And this will empower you and bring you back to the blessings of your home heart, so you can begin to experience and see what's beyond death without dying. To bring the two worlds together again. The Divine Feminine is not lost. She lives here. She is you and she's me too. She's all of us. We're her personal forms of expression. And there's not a bit of it that she doesn't care deeply about, only in the way that a mother can. And this earth is the personification of that feeling, of that great love which a mother extends into her children, which is a part of herself. And that is our interconnected nature. Just like the divine navel reminds you of your connection back to the original beings. We've all passed along that umbilical cord at one point or another and come down that vaginal trail to emote here as a helpless little being that has to be cared for in every way. God, you talk about powerless and aloneness. That's where it begins. And of course there's a lot of negativity and darkness around you to reinforce it, make it seem like something awful. But now you know the mother's love, you know both sides of it. You know the dynamics of it. It lives within yourself. That is the Divine Feminine. And if you think the Father cares any less, it's not a divided thing. But feminine is the form of creation. That's where it's happening. We are the person of her being. It's been hidden from us in a way. We've chosen to go through a dynamic of hell that was quite patriarchal and total bullshit. You know? And men were taught to feel more separate than they've ever been before. And not to feel any of the feminine within them. To deny it all even when they felt it. To push that away and only connect with it here in the physical form. God, is it any wonder things got all warped out of shape? We've forgotten who we are. The divine form of the mother within us. And you mothers know exactly what I'm saying. And so now do you fathers. Because fathers are mothers. It's just an extension of that same love. In essence, we are that being, that person, that heart that gathers it all together and expands it into experiential love. The vagina opening. That's what it symbolizes. That's what we're here to protect. To worship inside of ourselves in the way that we understand and appreciate it and no longer deny it and try to push it away from our form. And this is concealed in the feelings that you have. You've built a whole bunch of superficial emotions around the true feeling. And now you're about to let those go. They go with the fixed sense, with the alone thing. And now we add an extra L to that word. A-L-O-N-E. It's A-L-L-O-N-E. That's the true meaning of alone. It's the experiential joy of knowing the love in every speck of creation. Man, and if you don't think that's how a planet ought to be, maybe you ought to be getting your butt out of here. Because the rest of us do feel this way. We're beginning to open and understand it. And guess what? Since you're not separate from us, there's no getting away from it. Hide in the rocks, hide in the ground, hide on other planets. It don't matter. It's there in your place of being. It's there in your heart. And the more that awaken to it, the more you experience it too. There ain't no darkness, there's only light. Shadows and contrast, yes. Experience, love, life. Beautiful truth. Now, is this a hell of a way to end 2011 or what? Babies, we got the power. And we are the powerhouses about to turn it on and let it take its place. Remember to experience it in those quiet moments from within, and it becomes your presence of being. It's really simple when it comes right down to it. There's just a lot of fear and programming built around it. You would not believe how messed with we are. But don't worry about any of that. It's not happening. The program is becoming unwound. The hypnosis wears off. The mind control eases up. Begin to experience our heart, our one heart, the dynamic of our mother's love, creation, ever expanding through her children, and through that spiritual umbilical cord, staying closely connected with each and every being and presence that lives. How can you respect it anymore? How can you understand it any more deeply than that? Experience it. It's your truth. It's your power. That what you thought you lost to somebody else or somebody's else or many somebody, you haven't given it. It's there. Experience it today as we go through this celebrating away with the old and in with the new. The rebirth of the baby within ourselves as the old man brings the new birth to earth in its arms, in the presence and company of the mother, the true living love of life. Wow. It's quite the presence we have within ourselves. And it's no wonder that others will fear it when they don't feel it. Wow. But as I say, all nature of programming wears off now. And even those with the hardest of hearts begin to see, to feel what they see, and be what they are. Because each of us are what we be. We've certainly chosen some nice disguises for ourselves to help us get by. Well, that's my musings for today. December 31 of 2011. The last day of living in this year. And maybe the last day of living here. Time to ascend, to begin again. Why not? Ain't nothing better to do. Love you guys. Rock and roll.